So, you want to start a YouTube channel, but you feel like you're a little bit too old. Well, come on, man. Let's be honest for a second. You think you can't do it because it's a young person's game? Well, that is some straight up BS. So, your life experience is the one thing that young people can't possibly compete with. In fact, your age is a secret weapon, man. There is a huge and often overlooked audience actively seeking and searching for creators who reflect their own stage in life. You have decades of stories, wisdom, and perspective that people aren't just willing to hear, man, they are desperate for it. Today, we're not just going to talk about why it's possible. We're going to break down the 5 best reasons why starting a YouTube channel at the age of 50 isn't just a smart move, but it's one of the most rewarding things you will ever do. Number 1 is gaining real confidence and tearing down those limiting beliefs that we all have. The biggest thing holding most of us back isn't technology. It's that nagging voice in our head saying, oh, who in the world would want to listen to me? Or, I'm way too old for this. Or I can't keep up with the young kids. Well, starting a YouTube channel is like looking that voice right in the eye and daring it to stop you. So back in the day, I remember when this idea of being on YouTube first popped into my head. My mind was a superstorm of self-doubt, the fear of being on camera, of stumbling over my words, of no one watching, of being embarrassed when my friends and family would see it. It was paralyzing. But pushing through that and hitting the record button for the first time and then actually hitting the publish button, that was a huge win. And it wasn't about the views. It was about proving to myself that I could do that scary thing. And every single video I made helps me make another one. And I get another layer of confidence, and it tears down this limiting belief that you don't belong. And you don't find confidence by waiting for the fear to vanish. You build it by acting in spite of the fear. And trust me, that confidence spills over into every other part of your life. So building a genuine like-minded community is huge. In a world that can feel more and more disconnected, YouTube gives you an amazing chance to find your tribe. When you make content that is authentically you, comes from your real life experiences, you pull in an audience that just gets it. They're not subscribers, they're your peers. They've walked down similar roads, they've tackled similar problems, and they share your outlook. And younger creators can build giant audiences, absolutely, but the communities built by creators over 50 have a totally different kind of depth to them. And I've seen this happen many times. And I've seen it happen after posting a video about a career change I made in my late 40s. The comments weren't just, hey man, nice video, or good video. They were entire paragraphs, stories from people sharing their own fears and successes. They were stories about making a big change, midlife, which is really tough to do. And it became a real conversation and kind of like a support group. And you stop being just some person making videos and you become more of a host of a meaningful discussion, and you're connecting with people you never would have met otherwise. Reason number 3, you're going to unlock a powerful creative outlet. Life after 50 is busy. That's no joke about that. It's full of responsibilities, career, family, bills. It's easy to let your own hobbies get in the way of your creative sparks and your creative pursuits, and it just fizzles out. Well, YouTube is the perfect way to reignite them. It's a flexible, low-cost space. You get to explore it on your own. You get to explore the things that you're passionate about. Maybe you're a phenomenal baker, or a history nerd, or a woodworker, a bookworm, or you have a knack for financial planning. Your channel is whatever you want it to be. It's an experiment, and you get to share what you truly love. I know a woman, after her kids went to college, felt this huge empty void. And she had always loved crafting, so she started a channel making very simple, beautiful home decor things that she would gather up from dollar stores. And sure, it began as a hobby, just something to do, but the process of creating, filming, and sharing, it brought her so much joy and a whole new sense of purpose. And it's a hobby that doesn't just sit on a shelf, it connects and contributes. And reason 4, the genuine potential for income. And no one is going to overlook this. So this is a reason that a lot of us start thinking about YouTube. And while this shouldn't be your only reason for starting, the potential to earn money and income from your passion is very real. And your professional expertise and life experience are incredibly valuable. And unlike a lot of younger creators who are chasing all the fleeting trends and the latest dances, you get to create content based on a deep knowledge, something you really know, something like finance, business, health, skilled hobby. And that kind of content attracts a mature audience and is highly attractive to advertisers. But ad revenue is just the tip of the iceberg. I mean, you can earn through affiliate marketing, brand deals, selling digital products, things like ebooks, and even through coaching and consulting. I've personally seen channels by people over 50 in niches like gardening, retirement planning, or even motorcycle repair, and they become full-time businesses, and they generate more income than their old corporate jobs ever could. And your knowledge is an asset, and it's time to cash in. Reason number 5, you get automatic credibility and trust. In an online world drowning in questionable advice and fake experts, your age is a badge of honor. Viewers are naturally more likely to trust someone who has visible experience and maturity. When you talk about something, you've been doing it for 20 or 30 years, whether it's your job, hobby, or raising a family, that experience carries serious weight. And you don't have to spend all your time trying to convince people that you're an expert. Your life has already done the heavy lifting for you. And younger influencers, well, they have to hustle to build credibility. For you, a lot of it's already built in. And that trust is the foundation for a loyal audience and a successful channel. People who won't just watch you, they'll believe in you. And here's a bonus reason, just in case we didn't have enough. Your unbeatable life experience, and this is your superpower. It's the single biggest competitive edge and advantage that you have. No one can ever take it away from you. Every job you've ever had, every relationship you've ever navigated, every mistake you've ever learned from has filled a deep well of wisdom that you can now share. And while a lot of creators are busy chasing algorithms, you can build your channel on a rock-solid foundation of timeless knowledge. And whether you're teaching a skill, sharing life lessons, or reviewing products from the perspective of someone who's maybe seen it all, your experience gives you a unique angle that is so needed on this platform today. So your age isn't a bug, it's a main feature. It's the very thing that will make you stand out. It is the lens through which you see the world, and sharing that view is your unique gift. So that's the list. 5 powerful reasons plus 1 why your time to start is right now. And you have the experience, the wisdom, and the unique perspective that people are looking for and they're waiting to hear. And I know that even after hearing all this, it can still feel like a huge leap, man. But that fear and those what ifs can be really loud. So if any of this hit home with you, I want you to do 2 quick things for me. First, if you want more encouragement and practical tips designed specifically for creators like us, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. That's what we do. That's what I do. And I'd love to have you along for the ride. And second, and this is the important one, I want you to head down to the comments and tell me one thing. What was one reason on this list that we just talked about that really landed with you? Or if you're feeling brave, what's the number one fear that's been holding you back? Just naming it is the first step, and you will quickly see you're in good company. So the idea that you have to be young to make it on YouTube is just so outdated, and it's flat out wrong. The platform is maturing, and so is it. The idea that you have to be young to make it on YouTube, it isn't just outdated, it is flat out wrong. And the platform, it's maturing, and so is the audience. People are looking for substance, for authenticity, and for wisdom. All the things that you have and want to share. So your journey has given you a voice that no one else has. And don't let that fear of being too late convince you to stay silent. The only thing it's too late for is waiting for another day to share your story. You know, you've earned your spot. It's time to take it. And if you're ready to take it to the next step, check out the links in the description below. Getting started with my free worksheets. They are free. Download them today. They will get you headed in the right direction and very quickly. Also, click on that video right here that the algorithm thinks that you will like. And let's keep this going. Thanks for watching today. I will catch you next time. Go do something great today. Ladies and gentlemen, I am out.